All right, I'm going to do another tutorial for you today, and I thought it'd be really fun to show you how you do a frame around some of your images using faux ribbon stamps. I saw something similar to this on a Prima website, and so I thought I'd show you because it's really quite a neat technique. So I started out with my stamp, and my stamp is the Cornish Heritage Farms, the Silhouette Blooms 2. And I'm using this stamp from that set, and I inked it in lettuce and stream color, and then I also inked it and just put it on a piece of scrap paper, which I'm going to use as my guide. So I'm going to place this over top of my image and try to make sure that that is straight, because that is creating your base for your frame. Okay, now the trick to this whole thing is the acetate template. Now this is just a piece of acetate from an office supply store, very thin, which is important. And my husband, he's a draftsman, he cut this on a 45-degree angle for me, so I'd have perfect little mitered corners when I do a frame. So I'll start off, what you do is you line up your template to the corners of your mat. You want your 45-degree angles to go out right from those corners. And I think I'll start by using stream, and using these faux ribbon stamps are by Fancy Pants. And you can see my block is a little messy because I've done this a few times. So what you want to do is you just want to stamp as straight as you can. A border. Oh, actually that's using lettuce. I got my pads mixed up. That's okay. We'll do lettuce. And again, line up the corners. You also want to pay attention to where your mitered edge is from the last stamp that you just stamped. Lift and turn. And again, lining up the miter from your last stamp to your next corner. One more time. And here you want to make sure that you're kind of joining your two stamps. I like to rest my hands on the acetate sheet to hold it still. Don't have too much coffee before doing this, because then you're shaky. And then lift, and there you have one frame. And this one's really fun because you can layer up your frames. So I am going to do my other layer with some espresso ink. I love that color, love the name, love the color. And this time when you're lining up your edges, you want to line up to the last stamp you had, so that becomes your frame. So you want to line the corners of your sheet up that way. Ink up your stamp. And I think I want to have my frame facing this way. So then just go outside of the last frame that you had just stamped. Try and keeping straight with your edges of your paper and with the last image that was stamped. You can see what a pretty frame that'll make. lining up with the last thing you stamped and the corner of your last frame, because you want to join the idea is to join the stamp so that the corners look like they are mitered together. And you also want it straight with the bottom of your page too. Keep that in mind. And it really goes pretty quick, actually. And I would suggest using dye ink for this because you don't want to wait for pigment ink to dry. That would take a long time, and then it's quite a long process. So this is your last piece of your frame. And make sure you're straight with the top of your page too. Last one. There you go, what a pretty frame. And then just carefully peel this layer off. You might have to take off some of your adhesive. And there you go. So that's just on a plain white piece of paper. I use the Simply Smooth cardstock by Prism, and I will finish it up, add a few little details and maybe some ribbon, and post it on my blog. Thanks for watching.